Welcome back to the EJ Ward FieldView training series. In this video, we're going to be doing a communication overview of our hosted system and showing what the configurations that you have and how everything talks together. So the first thing that we have is the configuration type. So we have our hosted server, which all of these are going to have a hosted server, but then we have cell connected hardware. And that cell connected hardware is going to have, just like your cell phone has, it's going to have a SIM card in each piece. So it's going to be talking to the hosted server and passing information back and forth through the internet. The next thing that we have, or the other way you can do it with, is with the hosted server with tunneled hardware. And this means that you have all of your hardware is on your company network, and you have a VPN tunnel that goes from the hosted servers all the way to your network. And there's a small tunnel there, and they can talk back and forth through each other. With the communication, we're going to go ahead and start out with the actual dispenser itself in your car or a vehicle, and it's a fueling site, if you will. The next thing that we have is a server. So the server is going to be connected, and it's going to be going straight to the internet. So this is in a big server farm somewhere, and it can be multiple servers, and it's going to be hooked to the internet, which is then going to go to your network. And this is just like you access the internet every day. You go to YouTube or Google or something like that. This is how you get to it. So it's going to the internet, which is usually represented as a cloud. And then you're actually talking to it and you're telling it to go to our server, which would be your website. And typically your website is going to be the company name.wardfuel.com. The next thing that we have are your PCs. So your PCs hooked to a customer network, and it doesn't have to necessarily be the customer network. It can be anywhere in the world that you want to get to it with. As long as you have an internet connection, you can get to your FieldView server. The next thing that we have is the actual Ward FCT itself. So this can go over TCP or Wi-Fi if you're hooking it to your own network and you're doing a VPN tunnel. If you're not, we have that third antenna there in the middle that has the brown Wi-Fi signal there. That's going to be going to a cell tower. So that cell tower is going to be going to the internet, which will get all the way back to the customer network or to wherever you're plugging your computer into, and you can get to that information there. And it's putting it all into the hosted server. So everything just kind of you can think of the internet as a nucleus, and everything's just kind of connecting to the internet and grabbing information and sending information through there. The next thing that we have is our tank level sensor. So our tank level sensor does the same thing that the Ward FCT does. Now the tank level sensor, if you are using a cell network, it will actually hook into the Ward FCT itself. So you're actually going to have the tank level sensor hooked into there. It's going to go through the cell tower, get through the internet, and get to the server that way. The next thing that we have is the hose module. And on both the on-premise and our hosted solution, it does the same thing. So we're going to talk to the hose module from the actual FCT itself, and it's going to be used for fuel, and it's going to be put on the end of the hose on your dispenser. We also have the tag that is talking directly to the terminal itself. And then the last thing that we have in our communication line is the Ward 4 CAN-ceiver. Now with the Ward 4 CAN-ceiver, we also have that wireless AP. So that wireless AP can be talking to the terminal if you're using a tunnel network, or it can just be talking to the CAN-ceivers as well. And all of this is talking together. You have your CAN-ceivers and your tags that are both talking to the terminal, and your CAN-ceivers can also be talking to the wireless AP as well, or a different network. You have the hose modules themselves that are talking to the terminal itself. Then you have the terminal that's talking either through cell or through a TCP or Wi-Fi tunnel all the way to the internet that goes to a hosted server. And the same thing happens with your tank level sensor or your ATG. That's going to be talking either through a cell network, or it's going to be going through the FCT itself to get to the internet, to get to the server. And everyone accesses the server through a customer network, and that's whatever network you're on at that time, as long as it has internet access. So this concludes the communications video on our hosted communication and how it's all set up. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.